Social media is dying? Surely you can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. Hi guys, you're very welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about, is social media dying? That is to say, a lot of people on the planet now use social media, over 90% in some form or other. If you have a smartphone, you have a Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, LinkedIn, you have all that good stuff. But is it dying? Is social media on the way out, or is it just going to change platforms? Is Facebook going to go under in the near future, or in the future, or any time? Or Twitter, or any of these platforms, are they going to go under and be replaced by a new super platform? Is that going to happen? So let's talk about, is social media dying? We're going to talk about the positive effects of social media, the negative effects social media have on individuals and society, and also social media, will it change to a new platform, to a new form? So stick around, let's find out. Social media. Let's talk about some positive things that they've done. Social media is great for business. Everybody knows that. And if you look at some of the other videos I have on the channel here, you'll see some tips and hints on how to use Instagram and Facebook and Twitter for business. But what else does social media do? Well, social media helps people make new friends all around the world. I mean, that's what it was originally designed for. It was a networking thing. While there's no substitute for making new friends face to face, social media makes it easier than ever to connect with like-minded people. It can forge unlikely friendships. In a new initiative, elderly folks in Chicago, who love to have someone to talk to, are being hooked up with teenagers in Brazil who want to learn English. They hang out using video chat. It's a win-win, and you'll always hear about stories like this. Social media makes learning easier. Over half of professors now use social media to connect with students and to share with research. A recent study found that academics believe the interactive nature of online mobile technologies create better learning environments. With sites such as Duolingo, which I use myself, and the Khan Academy, blending social tools with learning experiences, online education is becoming part of our daily lives. When you're challenging your friends on who can put in the most study time, it speeds up learning. Social media helps raise money for good causes. Non-profits are increasingly turning to social media to tell the stories of the good work they've done. And when these stories get out there, people give. DonorsChoose.org, which helps teachers raise money for pioneering school projects, last year reported that it raised over 1 million through Facebook alone. Social media is good for democracy. Well, as the change in political landscape of the Middle East shows, social media gives powerless people a voice. While it's important to predict the final outcome of the current power ruptures going on, people having a voice can only be good for democracy. You see it on the flip side then, in the likes of the United States, where social media kind of gets abused in the same kind of thing, but we'll get to that. Social media helps us find common ground. Until very recently, our friends were the people who lived closest to us. Geography was the most important factor in who we hang out with. Social media hasn't completely changed that, but it does mean it's easier to find people with common interests. When people get together around something they're passionate about, a community of shared interest is created. So there are some of the points basically that are in the positive for the most part with social media. You get to talk to people around the world. If you have family or friends, it's easy to stay connected. If they're on the other side of the world, if they're in America and you're in Europe or in Australia or wherever, then it's easy to stay connected, and it helps people find common ground, and it's good for charity raising. So there is some positives to social media. Now let's discuss the negative effects of social media. The effects of waking up at night to update your social media status. Have you ever wondered why you wake up drained in the morning after a long relaxing sleep? It has something to do with the bright light on your face after waking up in the middle of the night to update your social media. Social media can be an addictive platform. We never get enough of using it, and we're constantly looking for better ways to enhance its features. We use social media in our personal lives, for our business, for events, campaigns and various reasons, and all this data is being accumulated. We often look at the positives of social media and shy away from the negatives. When we speak about the effects of social media, we should consider awareness of the following. a false sense of connection, privacy, decreased productivity. It messes with your ability to think independently, and it might make you spend more money. It alters your appetite and online-offline influences. So a false sense of connection. Since the introduction of social media, there's been an increase in less real-life conversations. More people are building relationships online and drifting away from the real world. The more we post, comment and like, the more we feel closer to other people, whether or not we know them in person. Phones are smart enough to become a studio of conversation with people across the world. When was the last time you had a real chat with your neighbour? Privacy. Check in at home on the couch with popcorn watching a movie. Social media is encouraging people to become more public with their private lives. Users are easily giving out information they would never reveal on a face-to-face conversation. Decreased productivity. A journey of 1,000 sites begins with a single click. Social media can increase or decrease productivity. It all begins with a single click of searching for some very important content. And then you come across a curious post about the first man on Mars. You accidentally click on it. After deciding to share the news to your friend comments, and 10 more friends comment, and it carries on. This and many other examples can decrease your productivity. Work with discipline and try to avoid social media distractions. The disability to think independently. A HP Labs computer science study revealed that more users are influenced to changing their way of thinking based on the majority rule, their online circle. Peer pressure continues to be an influence on a lot of users. This is a negative trait that disallows a person's own idea or implemented thought, and they fear criticism. Their self-esteem is lowered. Social media makes you spend money. It's not about don't spend time on Facebook, but just be aware of what it might be doing to you, said Professor Wilcox from Columbia University. More business is entering the social media world, and it is luring more consumers to buy products online. Online purchasing is cheap and doesn't consume time, which is exactly what the consumer wants. No delays. However, that's debatable. While more people buy online, the cheaper the product, the more bulk consumers purchase, the more money being spent. It modifies your appetite. A study from Women's Health reveals more people tend to feel hungry after they've viewed a couple of its food porn images online. A photo of a mega food plate can trigger a part of the brain to compel observers to overeat. Beware of the content you see on social media, as it may have a major impact on your daily habits. Online-offline influences. A lot of people enjoy online entertainment just as much as they enjoy online shopping. For a parent and a teenager, there's a better line of connection online than of relationship couples. Often more couples fall a victim of jealousy or breakup from online occurring posts. For instance, a partner is caught keeping up with their ex in a conversation. Social media is not a platform for sensitive people, as a lot of negative comments can be posted. However, if you see something you don't like online, you can either hide it or report it. Social media has its negative side, reaching harmful self-esteem problems for numerous people, whether it may be through depression, lower grades, psychological disorders, online cyberbullying, and future health problems. The above can be cured. Studies show that the users who are educated enough on social media understand how to use it effectively and safely, which is in fact why every user should research and get trained on the effective way of using social media. So, as I say guys, there is positives and negatives to social media. It's like anything else in life. It needs to be moderated. You need to know what your limits are. You can't be spending 15 and 16 hours a day trawling through Facebook. Your mind will go numb. So, is social media dying? Social media has become a ubiquitous part of our daily life. We check our phones about 80 times a day, once every 12 minutes, according to some estimates. And a large part of that is spent on interacting with Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, other social sites. And these are just averages. Many people spend even more time online. There's a real separation anxiety when you don't check your phone, don't see the latest feed, etc. Social media is now part of our culture, part of our movies. People gain and lose jobs via social media. Some even win elections, like the tweeting President of the United States. Donald Trump uses social media to drive their own agenda. Considering the prominent place that social media has taken up in our lives, can we imagine that its era will come to an end? One group of people who have seemingly soured on social media are some Facebook employees. Former Facebook chief executive recently stated to CNN he feels guilty for what they've created, especially in light of how Donald Trump was elected president with the aid of a Facebook disinformation campaign by Russia. I think investigations are still only going on that. Another person from the Facebook orbit who is very wary of what it has become is Sean Parker. The infamous Silicon Valley entrepreneur was an early investor in the company, as well as the first president of Facebook. He thinks Facebook has negatively affected their minds. He says it literally changes your relationship with society and with each other. In an interview, it probably interferes with productivity in weird ways. God only knows what it's doing to our children's brains. And that's it. We haven't seen the long-term effects. Social media is a relatively new thing. As far as what exactly it's doing to the brain, we have some potential answers. First of all, social media can become an addiction, saying scientists from Nottingham Trent University, whose study concluded by saying it may be plausible to speak specifically of Facebook addiction disorder. This is now a thing. They refer to how for some people heavy Facebook use can lead to neglecting their personal life, escaping and mood alterations. A 2015 study by researchers from the University of Missouri found that regular use of Facebook could lead to symptoms of depression, while a study of young adults found that Facebook can make them feel less in the moment, decreasing life satisfaction. Rather than provide the social engagement it claims to offer, Facebook can actually lead to isolation and other negative psychological effect. A recent study in the UK found that of 1,500 Facebook and Twitter users who participated, 62% had feelings of inadequacy and 60% felt jealous after comparing themselves to other social media users. With the mounting consensus in the research and evidence that teens are abandoning Facebook in droves, is social media doomed? For one, the teens have just moved on to Snapchat and Instagram. There are still more than 2 billion active users on Facebook every month, so it may still be a long while until it's officially dead. On the other hand, who remembers MySpace or Bebo? Perhaps it's more useful to think of individual sites as technology, which continue to change and adapt to our lives, and these days it can become obsolete quickly. When Facebook and other social media pages are no longer with us, something else is sure to take its place. Let's hope it'll truly be more social. Now, Facebook has 2 billion daily users, so it's not going anywhere soon. Twitter is not too far behind it, and the other social medias aren't too far behind. I think that although the platforms may change, social media is here to stay. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, guys. I think you'll enjoy a couple of other videos I've left up here for you. Do you find yourself getting addicted to Facebook, or do you find Twitter to be overwhelming or taking over part of your life? Are you socially disconnected, or do you use it for good, to keep in touch, in moderation, and obviously for business, as I do? I use a lot of these social media platforms for business, and check out the other videos on the channel here. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Thanks very much for watching, and until next time, let's be careful out there.